A gymnastics instructor is indicted for allegedly stealing from the parents of her students, and 2 men are charged with drug trafficking in Logan County. I'm Nick Collum, and this is the Mountaintop Daily. A gymnastics instructor has been indicted for 15 counts of theft for allegedly collecting money for uniforms and other items, then never delivering the goods. Sheldon spoke with the prosecutor and one of the parents about the case.
A group of Pike County parents are now seeking justice after they say a local gymnastics teacher fled the state once she received thousands of dollars from them for services and equipment their children never received. Former Pikeville resident Lindsay Page Burke was indicted Friday by a Pike County grand jury on 14 counts of theft by deception, totaling some $14,000, for allegedly taking payments for gymnastics training and equipment from parents, but providing no materials or services once she was paid. Mariah Akers, a parent named as a victim in the indictment, says Burke left them with no equipment, no routines that had been practiced up until then, and worst of all, with no explanation.
She fled the state, and whenever we reach out to the company that supplies all of our uniforms, bomber jackets that had been ordered for the older kids, socks, bows, we were informed that everything that had been ordered had already been received.
This came through an investigation by Detective Brian Conley from the Sheriff's Office. He interviewed each of the named victims here about the interactions they had with Ms. Burke and the services that she had provided or not provided to them in a gymnastics related that they were involved in.
Akers says that many parents paid Burke in cash, and this amount wasn't included in the indictment. Had it been, the amount allegedly stolen would have exceeded more than $20,000. Akers adds that when faced with how to proceed, the children had no intention of calling it quits.
They gave us a choice, like we can stop and try again next season if we want, or if your kids want to push through it, then we can continue to try. And we thought the best thing was to keep these kids together. They had already been through so much. The person that we trusted the most with them abandoned them, that she just left with no explanation. And so they all decided they wanted to continue. And honestly, we picked up some that had left from the season before. These kids have competed in 3 separate competitions and are killing it.
As of Saturday, new flooring was about to be replaced in the gymnasium, and parents were gathered to talk strategy on how to move forward successfully in upcoming competitions. Reporting for Mountaintop News, I'm Sheldon Compton.
2 men have been arrested after being accused of distributing drugs in Logan County by a federal grand jury. 42-year-old Jesse Joe Gravely II and 41-year-old Timothy Ray Gravely were arrested after being indicted last Tuesday. Jesse Joe Gravely is accused of distributing meth, fentanyl, and other drugs on 3 occasions last October, while Timothy Ray Gravely is accused of just distributing fentanyl on 3 occasions during the same month. In one instance, Timothy Gravely is accused of distributing nearly a pound of fentanyl. Both men are also charged with using a gun in a drug trafficking crime and felon in possession of a firearm. They are being held without bond in the South Central Regional Jail in Charleston. Coming up after the break, some Pike Central band students had to perform under pressure last month as they took part in a clinic in Moorhead while the flood was hitting back home. We'll hear their story when the Mountaintop Daily continues. But first, sports and weather.
With this Mountaintop Sports Report for Monday, I'm Brittany Rowe reporting. The Kentucky Wildcats have moved on to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2019. Coach Mark Pope and the Wildcats will face Rick Barnes and the Tennessee Volunteers at 10 p.m. on Friday in Indianapolis. Cat fans can listen to the game on 93.1 WDHR. Reporting for Mountaintop Sports, I'm Brittany Rowe.
Hey, it's Kristen, Marketing Manager at Appalachian Wireless. I have some great news. Switching to the region's best network has never been easier. With nationwide portability, you can now bring your number to Appalachian Wireless and experience exceptional local customer service with coverage that keeps you connected. Switch to the carrier that puts you first at home or wherever you go. Make the switch today. Visit AppalachianWireless.com or stop by one of our retail or authorized dealer locations for more information. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
The phrase "the show must go on" struck close to home for some Pike Central students last month as they were performing in a band clinic in Moorhead at the same time floodwaters were reaching their peak back home. I spoke with students and their instructor about how they pulled through. During the February 2025 flood, over 20 Pike Central High School students were at Moorhead for their honor band clinic and were unsure of how things were looking back home. While dealing with the pressure of performing, they were also faced with uncertainty as they received calls and texts from family and friends who were experiencing the tragedy firsthand. Director of Bands Jason Johnson tells us more.
We got to go to Moorhead State University with 23 students to perform with some of the best musicians in the tri-states. That was an audition process that was sent in to the professors at Moorhead State, and our musicians were selected. Many of them were selected for the top band. The interesting thing about the event is during the entire event, we understood that there was a storm approaching. Parents were calling and some concern. And so on the night of the storm, we were finishing the concert for the Moorhead State Band Clinic. And there, the conductors were able to put on a beautiful concert, and the students got to perform right before the tragedy hit this area. Many of them had messaged me and called during all of the different events that were taking place, informing me of what they were going through, either a power outage or was water around their house, or were they helping a family member. And so we were able to keep connection during that time.
As the waters were rising, so were concerns about student safety and travel. After the concert was over, students were able to return home to see their families and help clean up.
So it was really fun to perform in the Moorhead Band Clinic. But I didn't realize just like the scale of the flooding. I didn't realize how bad the roads were getting. My family was texting me and wanting to come get me early. And I was like just filled with uncertainty of what we were going to do. I didn't know if I was going to be able to stay and perform the music that we practiced for hours, for days, or if I would just have to go home. I was getting phone calls and trying to figure out what the plan was going to be. If I was going to be able to go home that night or if I wasn't. And it was a scary feeling to know, just not know what's going to happen next once I was done with performing.
That will do it for this edition of the Mountaintop Daily. Be sure to check us out at 6 p.m. every weekday on Mountaintop TV, the Mountaintop TV app, and the Mountaintop News Facebook page. With your Mountaintop Daily, I'm Nick Collum for Mountaintop News.